Hi, I'm Angie. It is a Sunday afternoon. It's a little cloudy out, but I am here on my front porch. So I want to preface my statement by saying you may hear traffic, you may hear a barking dog, you may hear my wind chimes that I have on my front porch when the wind blows. But I just wanted to speak to you briefly. As promised, this is a video about the fear of loneliness. And, the fear of loneliness has a lot to do with abandonment issues, lack of self confidence, low self esteem. And I don't want to talk necessarily about the negative side of loneliness. Instead, I rather look at the positive aspects of being alone. There are benefits, and one is that you have the opportunity to reflect on your life, to reassess you, to empower yourself, to look at what is working and what is not, what you want and what are the obstacles? Are they self-imposed? It's a quiet time where you're able to reevaluate and begin making changes. It's about um, changing your mindset from a fixed mindset where you're stuck to a growth mindset where you are surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, who are able to nurture you. It's like you having a seeded a potted plant, and you're nurturing it with water, sunshine, fertilizer. And those are the type of people that you should surround yourself with, those that are going to benefit you and your growth. Nairobi Nelson, he's a friend of mine on Facebook, and he once posted about me, that Angie has been giving her energy away to everyone else, and it's time that she gives energy to herself. And when I read that, I was like, oh, thank you, Nairobi. And I thought, how do I give energy to me? Because for years I have been so busy creating programs, being a leader in my church, creating programs for women living in public housing, and creating programs for girls in middle school, elementary school, public speaking programs. I have been the president of the Asbury Park Board of Education for 5 years, served for 10. I still serve on various boards. I have been an advocate for the children here in Asbury Park. I have been a mother, I've been a wife, I have been a caretaker. When was there time for me? When was there time for me? And I always wanted to be, I guess you could say I have been maybe a people pleaser, because I had been looking for acceptance because I was afraid of being alone. Being alone, I didn't know what I was going to do with me. And so I kept myself busy. I distracted myself. And, sometimes distractions can be really good. They can be attractive too. But I kept myself so involved. But I kept feeling this yearning, a calling, something was calling me to do more. And so even when I started creating these videos, mentoring with Angela, that wasn't really the original idea. But I wasn't able to focus on me. I just felt that that was so selfish, that my job was to help everybody else. So I've been working on changing my mindset, you know, and I know that there's nothing wrong with taking care of me, because I know when you get on an airplane, they tell you, hey, you got to take care of yourself first. You can't be suffocating and trying to put a mask on someone else. You have to take care of yourself. And that's what this is about. Me taking care of me finding that joy, that inner bliss, me creating heaven right here on earth. Dwayne Dwyer, he said that heaven isn't something that you seek. Heaven is what you create. And I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, because I don't know what's in the by and by. I only know that I have this day, this moment, this time, and that I should be enjoying it to the best of my ability. And once I have made myself happy, then that makes me more effective in helping others. I think that there are three personalities or three types within ourselves. There's the climber, there's the camper, and then there's the quitter. And I've been all three in my life, and I'm sure you have been too. When I was a climber, oh, let me tell you, I was so ambitious. I was confident. I believed in me. I believed that I could do it, and so I did. And that was when I was a junior in college. I wanted to be a broadcaster. I was majoring in communications, and I called every television station in my hometown of Pittsburgh. And I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to work. And they were like, who's this kid? You know, who is she? She doesn't have any experience. She's not even has her 4-year degree or a master's in communications, and yet she's asking for a job. I was like, yeah. And I wasn't asking for no entry-level position. I was expecting a news reporting position. And so in my junior year, WPXI TV, I put in an application, got an interview, and guess what? I got a job, but not as a news reporter. I got a position in the traffic department. I was responsible for the station log. In other words, all the programming that you see on TV, I was responsible for placing that on the station log and then giving it to the engineering department, and they knew when to run a program and when to put a commercial or a public service announcement in. And I stayed in that position for about 2 or 3 years, but during that time, I made sure that I networked with those in the newsroom because that was where I wanted to be. And that connection that I had with them, they allowed me to do a demo, a news anchored demo using the news desk, the music, and I sent that out. And WPTT TV said, hey, Eddie Edwards, he was the news director. He said, come on. And he gave me a job as the weekend news anchor. And people were like, oh, I can't believe she got a job. No experience, no degree. Yep, little old me. I remember when I told my mother and my grandmother, I said, guess what? I'm going to get me a brand new car. And my mother said, oh, Angie, you're such a dreamer. But a year later, my mother and my grandmother was riding in my little dream, my little Honda Prelude that I brought, brand spanking new. That's when I was a climber. And then I ended up going to KDKA, the #1 station in Pittsburgh. And after several years, when the job market closed for me, I left everything that I knew and loved, and I came to big old New York. I didn't know a thing about modeling, auditioning. But I didn't care because I knew that whatever I wanted, I was going to get. And so I did. And I became the voice for radio, television commercials, corporate training films for Prudential and General Electric and what other companies. I was a commercial print model. I did all those things. That's when I was climbing. I worked for Mattel Toys. I was a tour guide. I made $700 a day. Can you believe it? During the toy fair, every February, Angie was working there. Yes, I worked in New York. I traveled. I was climbing. I was an extra on the soap operas for Guiding Light. I auditioned for big movies. Yes, I did that. Me. That's when I was climbing. But every birthday I was getting older, and I said, well, you know, that biological clock is ticking, and somebody had asked me to marry them, so I said, well, I guess it's time to settle down. So I did. We bought a house, we had our babies, I was nesting. That's where I was camping. Everything seemed to be just so good. And then my mama died, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? My best friend. And some other tragic things began happening to me. A miscarriage, and I was sad, and I was feeling so alone and depressed. And I gained weight because I began self-medicating. And I fostered children and I adopted children, and then some of those things didn't work out for me, and I became more depressed, and it was affecting my mental health. And I had ballooned to almost 300 pounds. And I said, something got to change, and I just gave up because I knew that I had to lose 150 pounds, and that number was humongous. And I quit. I forgot about me. I still did my duties. I was distracted. Well, now I have this mindset as to Angie being alone. Where are you? What is your mindset? What do you want to do? And what I want to do is to climb again, because I'm not a quitter. I know when to fold my cards. I know when to put them away. I know when to say, okay, done. No need to keep banging my head up against the wall, but I'm done quitting on me. And I'm tired of camping out. I have to climb. And that's what this video is all about. Being alone sometimes is a good thing, because you get to see that power that you have. And after reviewing all the things that I have done in my past, all the good that I have done, all the energy that I have expended and have given to others, it's time for me to give some of that energy to me, because it's going to make me more effective, because I'm going to be happier. I'm going to have that inner peace. What I am doing is creating that little heaven on earth, because Dwayne Dwyer said it's not about seeking heaven, it's about creating heaven right here on earth. And that's what I'm about doing. I'm about changing my mindset. So I'm about feeding myself, nourishing myself. I'm stripping away all of that negativity. And if someone is negative to me, I don't want to deal with you. I can't. If that means I have to kiss you goodbye, then so long. But then that also means opening up that door and saying hello to whoever. And so that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to join me on this journey. And I'm hoping that you will want to do the same thing, because there is so much negativity that's in our lives today. And there's so much fear and stress. And somewhere there has to be a moment of peace, of joy. See, it's not about the storm. It's about how you get through it. It's about how you get through it. So for the next videos that I will be putting out, I'm going to show you how I am creating heaven on earth, my heaven on earth. And my heaven on earth is going to look totally different from yours. And you know, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. She, for her birthday, went to Dubai alone. Can you imagine? Alone. And she had a wonderful time alone. And she said to me yesterday that she is going to go every year. She is going to take a trip alone. And how courageous of her. How inspiring. And I shared that with someone else, and they said, you know what, I'm thinking about taking a trip myself. And I was like, yeah, me too. Sometimes that's what you have to do, because being alone can be a good thing. Yeah. So, you know, when she gets back, she's getting ready to go to the Dominican. So when she returns, hopefully she will sit down with me and we can just chat about her travels, why she decided to go to Dubai alone, and what she's feeling within herself. I'm hoping that she will share that with us, because, you know, we as women, we have to inspire each other. You know, I am my sister's keeper, and it's about loving ourselves as we love others, but we have to learn to love ourselves first. And as I wrap this up, I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for joining me today. I know I've been a little long-winded. Oh, I see 14 minutes, so I better wrap this up. But yeah, so join me, share with me how you are creating your heaven on earth. And I will see you next Sunday with something fun and entertaining. And I'm going to share some of my music with you. Oh, because, you know, I used to be a jazz DJ. And I have some music for you. Oh, boy, it is just going to put you in the mood. Oh, I can't wait. I have so much to share with you. You know, life is good and you have to find your own inner peace. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for your time. You enjoy your time, and you know what? you start creating your own heaven on earth. Thank you.